OpenAI's internal benchmarks for GPT-5.6 just leaked, and the efficiency gains are absolutely wild. We're talking 20 to 30% fewer tokens needed to do the same work. That means cheaper API calls, faster responses, and a model that reasons through multi-step problems like nothing we've seen before. But here's what caught everyone off guard: the June 2026 release window and what it means for every AI builder watching right now. If you've been paying attention to the AI race, you know efficiency is the new speed. Token efficiency isn't some nerdy benchmark metric. It's the difference between running AI at scale and going bankrupt trying. GPT 5.6 is designed to do more with less, and the leaked internal numbers tell us exactly how much more. We're breaking down what these benchmarks actually mean when you'll get access, and why this changes everything for agentic workflows. Stick around because the multimodal upgrades alone are reshaping what's possible with Vision AI. Let's start with the core leak, the token efficiency metric. OpenAI's internal testing shows GPT 5.6 achieving 20 to 30% token reduction across standard reasoning tasks. That's massive. To put it in perspective, GPT-4 to GPT-4 Turbo saw maybe 8 to 12% efficiency gains. This is 3 times better. What does that actually mean? If you're running a complex multi-step reasoning task today, something that cost you 10,000 tokens with GPT 5.5, GPT 5.6 does it for 7,000 to 8,000 tokens. Same quality output, same reasoning depth, just fewer computational steps required to get there. The leaked benchmarks show this holding across math reasoning, code generation, and logical inference. The mechanism is different too. It's not just prompt compression tricks. The model itself is trained differently. OpenAI's restructured how the attention mechanisms prioritize information, which means less redundancy in token usage. In plain English, the model learned to think more efficiently. It wastes less computation on repetitive patterns. For API users, this translates directly to your bill. A 25% token reduction means your costs drop 25% for the same workload. A company running millions of API calls monthly, that's massive savings. And it's not just cost. Response times are faster because the model needs fewer forward passes to reach the same answer quality. Now here's where it gets interesting. Agentic workflows. This is what OpenAI has been building toward, and GPT 5.6 is a leap forward. An agentic workflow is when an AI model breaks a complex task into subtasks, executes them, evaluates the results, and decides what to do next. Think of it as an AI that can plan. The problem with current models is that these multi-step workflows are token expensive. Each reasoning loop consumes tokens. Chain multiple loops together and you're burning through context windows fast. GPT 5.6 changes that dynamic. The leaked benchmarks specifically highlight enhanced reasoning for multi-step agentic workflows. This means the model can plan across more steps without token bloat. An agent using GPT 5.6 can run 10-step reasoning chains where GPT 5.5 would struggle with 7-step chains at comparable token costs. Real-world example. You're building an AI system that researches a topic, synthesizes information, identifies gaps, and generates a report. That's 4 major steps. With GPT-5.5, you're looking at maybe 15,000 tokens end-to-end. GPT-5.6 around 10,500 tokens. And here's the kicker. The reasoning quality is actually better because the model's been trained specifically for this kind of iterative problem solving. This matters because agentic systems are where AI becomes truly valuable. It's not one-shot quanda anymore. It's autonomous systems that can operate independently, make decisions, and adapt. GPT 5.6 makes that economically viable at scale. The multimodal upgrades are where things get visually interesting. The leaked benchmarks show significant improvements in image understanding and processing. First, there's expanded multimodal integration. GPT 5.5 handled images, but GPT 5.6 integrates vision more deeply into the reasoning pipeline. You're not just describing images anymore. The model reasons through visual content the same way it reasons through text. That changes everything for tasks like document analysis, diagram interpretation, and visual problem solving. The image understanding benchmark showed improvements across several metrics. Object recognition got better, more accurate identification of complex scenes. Text within images is parsed more reliably. And here's the important bit: visual reasoning. The model can now look at a complex diagram and extract logical relationships, not just identify what's in it. There's also improved handling of high-resolution images without the token bloat that plagued earlier models. Previous versions struggled with detailed images because resolution meant more tokens. GPT-5.6 processes visual detail more efficiently, so you can feed it complex images without tokens exploding. For builders, this opens new possibilities. Real estate platforms can have AI agents analyze property photos, measure spaces, identify issues, and generate reports, all in one coherent workflow. Compliance teams can feed stacks of documents with charts, tables, and images and have the model extract structured insights. Visual quality control in manufacturing becomes feasible. Let's talk timeline because this matters. The leaked documents point to a June 2026 release window. That's Q2 2026, roughly 18 months from now, depending on when you're watching this. Why June? It lines up with OpenAI's historical pattern. They typically release major models in Q1 or Q2, and GPT-5.6 is positioned as an incremental but significant upgrade from GPT-5.5. The staggered release makes sense from a business perspective, too. GPT-5.5 gets runway. Developers build integrations. Then GPT-5.6 drops with better efficiency, forcing migration discussions and renewed API spending. But here's what matters right now. You don't have to wait. If these benchmarks are accurate, and they appear to be from internal OpenAI testing, you can start planning around them. Are you building systems that rely on GPT-5.5? Start thinking about how 25% token efficiency changes your architecture. Can you run longer agentic chains? Can you offer better pricing to customers? The June timeline also means GPT 5.5 will likely remain the standard for another year and a half. That's time to mature your integrations, find edge cases, optimize your prompts. It's not like you're making a sudden jump. It's planned obsolescence with a clear runway. There's also the question of whether intermediate models drop between now and June 2026. OpenAI might release refined versions of GPT 5.5 or even experimental 5.6 access through their research programs. The timing suggests they're still optimizing, still testing. Public announcements will come later. Let's zoom out and think about what this means for the broader AI landscape. Token efficiency is becoming the competitive battleground. When all models can reason and generate, the winner isn't who's smartest, it's who's most efficient. GPT-5.6, quote, S 20 to 30% efficiency gain creates separation in the market. OpenAI pulls further ahead on cost per task metrics. Competitors need to match or exceed those numbers. This puts pressure on Anthropic, Google, and other players. Claude and Gemini need efficiency improvements. The margins in AI are actually getting tighter for smaller companies. Running large language models at scale requires serious infrastructure investment. Being 30% more efficient means 30% lower hardware costs. That's the difference between profitability and burning venture capital. For developers, the upgrade cycle accelerates. Today, switching from one model to another is genuinely painful. You need to retrain, recalibrate, test extensively. But when the new model is 30% cheaper and handles agentic workflows better, the calculus changes. You want to migrate because it directly improves your margins. The multimodal improvements also hint at OpenAI's strategy. They're not chasing raw capability anymore. They're building the most useful, most deployable AI, vision integration that actually works, efficiency that scales, and reasoning systems that handle real workflows. That's a product play, not a research play. We're also seeing the maturation of AI as infrastructure. These aren't breakthrough moments anymore. They're iterative optimization. GPT-5 was the leap. GPT 5.5 refined it. GPT 5.6 optimizes it. That's how mature technologies work. So here's the payoff. OpenAI's GPT 5.6 is coming in June 2026 with 20 to 30% token efficiency gains, enhanced agentic reasoning, and serious multimodal improvements. The leaked benchmarks are credible, the timeline is clear, and it changes how you should think about building AI systems right now. If you're an API user, start planning your migration strategy. If you're building products, think about how efficiency unlocks new use cases. If you're in the AI space competing with OpenAI, you need efficiency breakthroughs of your own. The race isn't about who builds the smartest AI anymore. It's about who builds the most efficient, most deployable, most practical AI. GPT 5.6 is OpenAI's answer to that question. What's your biggest bottleneck with current AI models? Is it cost, speed, or capability? Drop it in the comments because that's exactly what GPT 5.6 is targeting.